So, number 3 strawweight contender and fellow Chinese woman, Chinese counterpart to the Chinese champion Zhang Weili, Yan Xiaonan, did a recent interview with James Lynch, I think the other day. And one part of the interview, she was asked about the potential date of the China fight with Zhang Weili. We already know that Dana White confirmed that Yan Xiaonan is the next contender for Zhang Weili, and they're looking to do that card in China. And I thought they'll probably just book it maybe in August or like September, because the last time the UFC went to China, Shenzhen, they were in August 31st, 2019. But they're not going to be fighting in the summer. According to Yan Xiaonan, she said the UFC just might be looking at December. And I know the UFC, the last time they went to Asia officially, like Korea, was December 2019. So I could definitely see them doing a China card in December, but there's one problem that I have with that. Zhang Weili last fought, I believe she last fought November. Yes, she last fought November 12th, UFC 281, when she won her belt back from Carla Cookie Monster Esparza. So by the time she fights again, it will have been 1 year since her last fight. If the UFC does go to China, late this year, like in the fall, winter of 2023, and usually the UFC does go to China like around November, usually not August. That was like a one-time thing, but every other time the UFCs went to China, like 2017 and 18, it's been in the month of November. 2019, it was in the month of August. 2023, I guess it might either be November or December, but in my opinion, it's not fair for Zhang Weili because she's taking an unnecessary amount of time off while she's healthy, no injuries. It's like she's taking a year off for nothing while wasting 1 year of her prime. She's 33 right now. She's going to be 34 August 13th. So not to say that she'll age overnight, but it's good to get some activity in while she can. And it's been a while since Zhang last fought. The UFC, they've been benching her for a while, and I knew why the UFC had Weili on the sidelines, because they were waiting for that one fight that was marketable, that one big fight to get her in there with, you know what I mean? Like Rose was off the table because she's not helping the UFC's case by being inactive. So the UFC was waiting for the outcome of Andrade versus Xiaonan to pan out. And they could have easily just given Lemos the title shot this past spring, or it's already spring, not this past spring, but during this current time, or even July. But the UFC was holding out and waiting to see if Yan Xiaonan was successful against Andrade. And in the meantime, the UFC, they didn't give Zhang Weili another fight because they didn't want to risk the idea of her losing to Amanda Lemos. And then there goes that China versus China fight, two Chinese fighters going up against each other in UFC China. Last time the UFC in 2021, they got that foiled when Carla beat Yan Xiaonan and Rose beat Weili twice. Obviously, had Xiaonan beat Carla and had Zhang defended against Rose the first time, we would have seen that big Chinese super fight between Xiaonan and Zhang in 2021. But now the stars are aligning perfectly because now the UFC, fast forward 2 years later, they can actually go internationally with cards, whereas 2021, they were limited to only the United States or Abu Dhabi, because of, the pandemic era, the early stages of the pandemic. But, the timing has worked out for both Zhang and Xiaonan. But honestly, I wish this could be this summer, but it is what it is. Zhang is no stranger to taking a year layoff. I mean, she had 1 year off between the Joanna first fight and the Rose first fight, mainly because of the pandemic and her not really being able to travel, and then also Rose not being able to turn around by the end of 2020 because the damage she took from the Andrade fight and Weili waiting for Rose. So I guess if Zhang must take another year layoff just so this big fight between Xiaonan and herself, Zhang, can go down, then I guess it is what it is. I guess it won't hurt Weili in the meantime. She's been grinding, she's been working, but Weili, man, she said she's been waiting. I saw a video of her on Instagram, some Instagram reel, and in this translation, she said, I've been waiting for the contract from the UFC. So she's been waiting, and she said because it seems like we missed UFC 290. So maybe the original plan was for Zhang to actually fight at UFC 290 against Amanda Lemos. But again, I think the UFC was just waiting to see what would happen with Xiaonan. They were waiting for the biggest fight possible and the clearest contender possible. Like, they could still give it to Lemos right now, but why not strike the iron while it's hot? I know Lemos must be pissed right now. I think if Andrade had beat Xiaonan, the UFC would have just went ahead with the Lemos fight anyway. But yeah, Zhang, it looks like she was supposed to fight at UFC 290, or she was wanting to fight at UFC 290, but the UFC, again, for that reason of holding out for that one big fight, they kept her on the sidelines, which it sucks because I know for Weili as a champion, she didn't want to be inactive. She wants to be active, but I blame the UFC because they had plans for her, hence why they kept her on the shelf, because if she had been active, again, they were worried about risking those plans. Now, in the meantime, here's what they should do with Amanda Lemos, for as frustrating as it is for her. They need to do Amanda Lemos versus Tatiana Suarez, because Tatiana, she just got back. She made her big return, remained undefeated. She's got momentum right now, a lot of buzz, and she used to be like a top 3 contender in the strawweight division. And I think that'd be a smart matchup to make. I mean, Lemos probably isn't going to take it, and her excuse will be, she hasn't fought in the strawweight division in years, and she's ranked number 10. I don't want to go all the way back. But deep down, she won't take it because she knows it's a bad matchup for herself. But it is the fight to make. It's a big fight for both. It's a logical title eliminator, because whoever wins that fight, if Lemos wins and gives Tatiana her first loss, she might be able to stake her claim for a title shot. And then if Tatiana wins, she's back in the top 5. That's like a clear, straight shot right up to the title picture for Tatiana Suarez. But if not, maybe the winner of Dern versus Hill, although she already beat Angela, but I think Dern is likely going to win. She can fight Mackenzie Dern, I guess. That's a fresh matchup. I see her knocking out Mackenzie Dern. Yeah, unfortunate situation for Lemos. I do feel bad for her. I would recommend a fight with Rose Namajunas, but who the hell knows what's going on with Rose right now? Like, she has no plans to fight anytime soon. Or another matchup could be Lemos and Verna Jandiroba, who just dispatched of Marina Rodriguez. Both coming off wins over Marina. I think they can fight each other. The winner fights for the belt. Problem solved. That's like the perfect alternate if the Suarez fight doesn't happen, if Lemos doesn't take the Tatiana fight, or if, let's say, she can't get a fight with Rose. I'm sure Verna would take the fight with Lemos, no problem. And I'm sure Lemos herself would have no problem taking that matchup, since both are in the top 5. But with that being said, the sooner Xiaonan versus Zhang gets booked, the better. And I'm looking forward to seeing that fight. Hopefully we get an announcement real soon. But let me know your thoughts on this situation as a whole in the comment section down below. Like and subscribe, and peace.